If you're an HSP that's been thinking about starting a coaching business, or you want to start work as a healer because you know that this is the type of work that just really resonates with you on a deeper level. This was true for me. I learned along the way that I'm a sensitive person and an empath. And along the way, I also noticed how this coaching idea really resonated with me for many years. But I never took action on it because I didn't know if I could do it. I didn't really believe in myself, and I didn't understand what it took. So I put this idea on the shelf for many years. 13 years of working in corporate America, being very unfulfilled and stressed out, resulted in me feeling extremely burnt out, where it started to affect my physical health and my mental health. And at that point, I decided to make some big changes. I couldn't take it anymore. So I quit my job and I launched into starting a coaching business. And long story short, it ended up being successful. But I wouldn't wish that experience upon anybody, because that first year was so challenging and so stressful, and a lot of it could have been avoided had I understood these four tips I'm going to share with you before going into it. So let's dive in. If you want to start off on the right foot, you have to first understand what makes you uniquely qualified by virtue of being a highly sensitive person. These two things are very closely linked. I would imagine many coaches out there and many healers are highly sensitive people. So you really want to first get clear on why it makes sense for you to become a coach or a healer. And that has everything to do with understanding your innate talents and gifts. So being an HSP might have been feeling like a curse for your life, where you've been feeling just easily overwhelmed and easily triggered, and you can't handle loud places or crowds or whatever. But the flip side of that is that you have these incredible gifts and talents of intuition, of good listening skills, of good rapport building, of being very empathetic to people's needs, and just having an understanding for how to help somebody that's in need. You're just extra perceptive, and so you're naturally good at helping people in these types of ways. And so there's a whole list of traits and qualities that are specific to being an HSP that you first want to get clear on, because that's going to help you with the second tip, which is all about building your confidence as an HSP that is getting into coaching. Because without confidence, it's going to be really hard for you to get this thing off the ground. That first year that I was coaching, I didn't really have any confidence. I was very timid, and that impacted my ability to market my services, to put myself out there and announce to the world, "Hey guys, I'm a coach, I can help you." I was very bashful. And it also impacted my ability to enroll people. When my marketing did turn into an enrollment call, I wasn't too effective at enticing someone to want to work with me, because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't understand just how good of a coach I can be. And also, when you haven't built that confidence, you're not actually going to be a great coach. It wasn't until I worked with an amazing coach that inspired the confidence within me that my coaching really started to excel, and my business started to flourish. So building confidence is super important to all of this. And that is something that really has to do with just taking some time to understand how good you are. The way I do this with my clients is I help them get clear on all of their traits and their qualities that have been working for them in their life. We review their top accomplishments and their achievements, and we just talk about all the different clues that are evident in their life that indicate their greatness in this capacity. As a coach, a healer, a helper, a counselor, we'll talk about all the times when you've been there for your friends or where you've been there for your family and how much they've appreciated that. Because it's so easy to lose sight of these things that seem insignificant because they're in the rear view mirror and you just don't have the clear evidence today of your greatness. I see it happen with every single client that I work with. They are so much better than they realize. They're all amazing and gifted and incredible, but until that's reflected back to them in a way that is crystal clear, that is done consistently and repeatedly, it doesn't sink in. It's not fully believed and embodied. And when it's not embodied, it doesn't do you any good. So that's a really important tip about what it's going to take to be successful, is to build that confidence after you've gotten clear on what your talents and your gifts are. Tip number 3 is learning how to set boundaries and protecting your energy. As a coach, as a healer, as an entrepreneur, it's really important that you're on your game every day. You don't want to lose a day to feeling triggered or anxious or overwhelmed or irritated or whatever the case may be. It's going to make it really hard for you to put in the work necessary to do the marketing, to do the enrollment, to do the coaching, and it's going to impact your performance in so many ways. Your clients just aren't going to get the results that you really want for them. So, learning how to set boundaries in all of your relationships, your personal relationships, your work relationships, your romantic relationships, is going to go a very long way to allowing you to protect your energy. And this is crucial because as HSPs, our energy is impacted very easily. For me, it doesn't take much. If somebody comes up and wants to start a conversation with me in the morning, when I'm still waking up, that can really mess up my day. And I had this happen recently where I made the mistake of not setting a boundary, and I was off for a while until I was able to clear that energy and get back to work. So setting your boundaries and navigating all of your relationships very skillfully is going to be crucial to protecting your energy so that you can channel it in the direction of your coaching business. And the 4th tip is preparing for what to expect. Okay, so I quit my job, moved from San Francisco to San Diego, and started a coaching business. Having done zero research, and I had no preparation, I was desperate. I was desperate for a change. I let it go too long in the wrong job, in the wrong career. And it put me in a pretty weak position to start out because I didn't understand what it took to get a business off the ground. I was late to figuring out my niche and my audience. I didn't have a clue about how to market my services and generate leads. And I didn't understand what it took to ask someone for money and their business. And that was a very painful process to figure all of this out on the fly without adequate support. It took me so long before I found coaches that were very knowledgeable and skillful at helping with all of these things. So make sure that before you get to work on starting your coaching business, that you get clear on all the different things that it's going to take to be successful. Because then once you do get to work on starting your coaching business, you'll be able to go through it in a methodical fashion where you're going to know what needs to happen when, and you can get the appropriate support and resources at the right times. If you do all of these things, guys, if you follow these 4 tips, your chances of success are going to be so much greater. So much greater. Then it just comes down to execution and getting the right support and resources for the marketing and lead generation, for the enrollment process, and for building the coaching program and how to deliver results. That stuff is pretty straightforward, and there's plenty of resources out there for you, but it's going to be very hard for you to be effective at any of those things until you've gotten clear on your talents, you built up your confidence as a coach or a healer, you know how to protect your energy and set boundaries, and you're fully prepared for what to expect. So that's what I want to share with you guys today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video or subscribe if you did find it helpful. And then lastly, if you are someone who is ready to begin the process of working up to becoming a coach or a healer, and you would like to master these 4 steps, go ahead and click on the link in the description to schedule a free consultation with me. This is exactly what I help people with who are ready to begin the process. And I'd love to have a conversation with you and share with you what this is all about. So schedule your call if you're ready. And if not, stay tuned. I got more great content on the way.